Earth Debate Uncut and After Show. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon, so a massive shout out of thanks and appreciation first and foremost to Retro Bill, More Books, Kenna Bear, Fibre Oats, Bogey, Michael Kahn, Rob H, Ben White, Maximum Gravy, John Kays, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Will Brax, Mel B Styles, Troy Shuker, Hairy Blade, Mobile Max 777, Neo the One, Rob W, Open Minded, Reese Pound, Del West Watson, Maria Neelands, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, The Real Gabster, Liam Nedrick Jr., Abraham Mohammed, Adrian Quintana, Skeptic 936, Life is Short, Texas Mike, and David Wayne Foster. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I will hand over to whoever is in Discord and Google so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show.
Surviving.
The amazing thing is that, you're not expecting two black guys, one with dreads, to sound like the Beatles. It's like mind-blowing.
You haven't watched the English Premier League lately.
Sounds terrible. Can you drop and rejoin, Tent?
Yeah, that'd be good. I'm in a bad place. I'll try.
Typically, it was fine as soon as he's just about to leave. Oh well. My tweeter came. I've just fitted it.
Nice. My car's in the shop. Costing me money again.
You what?
My car's in the shop at the moment. Costing me money again.
Sound check.
Hey, Tenth.
Any better?
About the same.
Okay, I'll be quiet today. I drove 18 hours yesterday. I'm in a warehouse on a couch.
Okay.
Hello. How's everyone?
Hey, Mitch.
Morning. Hey Nathan, I had a quick question. It's about one of the logical fallacies. I don't know if you're there. So I just got on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I don't know if this is a logical fallacy, but I might be mistaken. But what is it when you ask a question to somebody, right? You ask them to prove gravity, and then they go ahead and they define to you gravity. So they don't necessarily prove it, but they just define it for you and use that as saying, well, that's proof, is the definition. Is there a logical fallacy to that, or is just them avoiding the question?
It's just not physical evidence. I don't know about logical fallacy, because I suppose maybe a non sequitur. If you're asking someone to prove something and they say, well, here's the definition of it. No, prove its existence in physical reality. Well, I'll just define it for you. Well, that's non sequitur. But other than that, no, not really.
I was going to say that.
How did they
it sounded
define
like a non
gravity?
sequitur. Okay. No, I just wanted to ask. I thought there was a specific thing attached to it, but yeah, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was a non sequitur as well. I just had to ask.
Isn't this? I know my mic's bad, but isn't this kind of like when they come in and assume Earth curve rather than proving Earth curve?
Yeah, pretty much. It was just they were proving the definition of it. That's it. They said, well,
it's not a begging the question fallacy. If you're asking somebody to define something, if you ask me to define unicorns and I start defining what a unicorn is in colloquial terms, you can't then accuse me of begging the question. I'm just defining something you've asked me to define. However, if you ask me to prove something's existence and I merely define it, then that's a non sequitur. But they're not actually suggesting by defining something that it does or doesn't exist. You're just suggesting that they should prove it exists, and they're not. They're just defining it.
What's the definition of a non sequitur? How is it explained? What does it mean?
Not relevant to the point. That's basically all non sequitur means. Not related.
Does
Okay.
not follow. That's what it means in Latin. Does not follow.
Does not compute.
I thought of a way to get the false dichotomy that the ether guys are using across to them in a little bit easier way, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I call it the burning unicorn fart fallacy. Well, all you do is you say, like, okay, well, the sky is burning because of unicorn farts, right? And then the minute they say something like, no, it's obviously an oxidation reaction within the magnesium. Instead of saying, no, the sky's not on fire, you know? When you start arguing with their cause of a non-effect, you're lost at that moment.
Listen, it's been all weekend popping in and out, hearing things. This dielectric acceleration nonsense. They're going to keep coming in and keep trying to push this. They want their gravity explained.
Yeah, but that's why it's like a burning fart fallacy, you know, like they say that the downward bias is caused by gravity, or the downward bias is caused by electrostatics. Forget the fact that there's no downward bias to explain, you know?
Exactly. Well, in 2025, they're going to send the first female and the first female black woman to the moon. So it's over for us.
You mean the first trans woman to the moon?
Something like that.
Swimming. That Hollywood basement?
Yep. They think it's over for us. We are going to look like the fools because they're going to go on the moon. And not only there, by 2030, they will be on Mars.
Yeah, but I thought we lost the technology.
No, it's been recovered.
Hell, man, we sent people to Narnia like back in 2005. Who cares about space? We can send people to Imagination Land.
Yeah, forget rockets. We got closets.
Space is imagination land.
It's not. Things are just different up there. That's all.
Their physical laws
Yeah,
are
wait.
violating.
No, it's different up there. Down here, we have gas pressure. Up there, it's not needed.
But you know what's crazy is that there was a news article years back, and I'm pretty sure some of you remember, where they said that they would have to make, well, if they supposedly land on Mars, they have to create these domes in order for them to breathe. So even in Narnia, gas pressure requires a container. Crazy.
Yeah, when you land on the planet, yeah, then you need containment. But when you're out there in space, no containment needed.
Hey, now they've got photos from the ground of the ISS with a spacewalking person outside of the ISS. Did anyone see that? An astrophotographer
Nah.
took a picture of the
Really?
ISS with a spacewalking person.
I'll have to have a look at that. That's the only bit that still holds some interest for me, because they have to explain what the ISS is. There's a light in the sky with a certain shape, and they have to explain it. So they come up with this story of the ISS or Mir or whatever, Skylab, and occasionally they crash them, and then they just send another one out there that you don't see getting built and then suddenly is in existence. So they'll do the same with the ISS. It'll eventually crash, and then there'll be another one that replaces it that's the same light in the sky. But they have to marry those two things together, i.e. there has to be a stage show for the claim to be light in the sky, to say that it is there and under their control and we know what it is, as opposed to it being an anomaly that ruins the heliocentric system. No, it's ours. We put that there.
Well, the Russians threatened to blow it out of the sky if America butts their nose in their situation. Did you hear that?
Don't worry, if they blow it up, they'll replace it immediately.
Well, there was like something that was saying, like a cartoon, where they were saying the ISS has crashed.
Okay? There's a light in the sky, it gets called the ISS, and then it's claimed to be a spaceship. Those two things aren't correlated. There is no sky vacuum for men to be floating around in orbital motion when they beg the question of a sphere with things falling around it.
I'll put a link in Master B, Nathan, if you want to take a look at that.
I'm looking at it now.
The blurry pixel that's a person on the outside of the ISS.
Where's the actual image of from the ground? This. Is that it?
I can't see what you're presenting, but it should be, yeah, when you click on the link, should be the first thing you see.
Okay.
The ISS with arrows pointing to it. The ends of those arrows are
Yeah, but
people.
there's 3 or 4 pictures. I don't know which one's supposed to be the claimed picture from the ground. Is it the one at the bottom right?
This is Universe Today. You're looking at?
Yeah.
So it should be the very first picture, the top one. It's got the ISS, got some...
That's not from the ground.
That's what the claim is.
Really?
Astrophotographer, yeah.
Astronauts Raj Chowdhury and Matthias Mura outside the International Space Station, right?
Correct.
Okay. There's no way this
That can't be from the ground.
There's no fucking way. Whatever. Okay, yeah, great. Thank you for showing me.
But first time in history. Just putting it out there.
They have to keep the rhetoric going.
I mean, you got to, don't you? Like, it's one of these things that they haven't done before. They've actually got a really high definition photo of the ISS with people on the outside, something that hasn't been done before, so they had to do it eventually.